Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Merces and today we're playing more 7 Days to Die. So, let's get started. Okay, so the sky is red, the sun is setting, it's time for another Horde. I haven't done any major additions to, or actually any additions whatsoever to the Horde base this time. Last time it went fairly decent. We are still playing on the highest difficulty with 32 times Blood Moon count. And yeah, so I just went and basically repaired the base there. Got the blade traps working again. Refilled all the turrets with ammo. Let's go and turn them on. They have. Oh, actually, we need to refill them. And all nice. Cool. So in between episodes there actually did a little work as well. We actually now finally have gotten this patch here completely rid of like the asphalt and the clay. Which means that over the span of not too long I will actually be able to basically place the remaining as well. Let's be able to place the remaining rebar frames and actually upgrade all that to concrete. Thus completing the pad for that area. Which just means we just have to start working on the place behind there. The pan is going to go basically up to sort of around here. I might connect these two roads here to the road here. Go up over here, and then I'm not quite sure exactly this way. We'll probably just dig up there. Not sure how deep I guess go over there. Okay. So you're actually wondering what video settings or quality settings I'm actually playing on during Horde nights. I basically turn off all the stuff here. Turn like water quality, terrain quality, grass distance, object quality to the lowest. I turn off reflections and shadows whilst keeping texture filter texture quality to high as opposed to ultra plus, and texture quality to full. Also particles, let's maybe turn that down to 50%. I'm not quite sure what LOD distance does. So it says distance, yet the overall maximum level of detail at which the world is displayed. Can we just turn it up a little bit more? 50%? Yeah. That's just basically because I'm not completely frying my PC. So the FPS just tanking a lot basically when they start showing in. We're not hovering about 60 as they spawn a lot more, they basically will tank up to about 30 FPS. I can't get it lower than that. Just turn that sound as well. So I'm just going to use the normal strategy. Did I forget to add wires there? Oh, okay. I did. Yeah, so I'm just basically just waiting, just as they're basically getting stunned by the electric fences, they just headshot them. They're both stuck, and I think actually they also take more damage when they're stuck or stunned. Why doesn't it take damage at all? What? It's decent, but I can definitely feel the lag though. so I can kind of remember if I up. Yeah, I think I did up the yellow bag spawns even more. Or enough. I'm not quite sure if I did more than the last one. Oh, you did not? What? Oh. No. Summon dogs. One thing that I actually have decided to do with the dogs, or in terms of dogs, is test how much I actually get by skinning one of them, and then basically just spawning in, like, assuming I've found about 1,000 dogs, and then spawning them on rotten flesh I get from 1,000 of them. Oh, that was the bitches, I think. So get a bunch more rotten flesh because, like, again, even actively hunting zombie dogs and zombie bears in the wasteland just isn't enough. Yeah, it's gross. You sounded like so strong. This one has 86 range damage versus 120. Well, actually, this might just still be better though because I can shoot faster. That bullet concentration is kind of important. Okay, that actually took down. Alright, I didn't actually check if there was some of the iron bars I needed to repair. Are you actually dead? You're actually dead. Somewhat close together here. Yeah, I guess they are. You can really toss through them. Go here and let's just like check some of them. Definitely thinking actually, now for 20 we're gonna have to use a lot more Molotovs. Like 100 or so per herd. Because like right here would be awesome just to chuck them onto them. The problem with it is that the fact like I can't put these ones like everywhere. So I'm gonna have to sort of figure out that as well. You die? Why is so few? Oh, okay. So what is them? they take all the blue traps. If they just like stop sort of seemingly spawning, that's because they have managed to get onto the shotgun tunnels. So that's something we have to sort of like just pay attention to. So one thing about I've sort of considered in terms of Alpha 20 is if we should reduce the horde frequency a little bit. I don't think I will, but it's like I'm considering it. Yeah, could I again? One thing I also gotta figure out is we're not gonna play with the feral sense optional enough. I'm thinking maybe start with it off, but then like very quickly turn it back on. Or turn it on. I'm thinking, but yeah, we'll see. Again, listeners, we're right here. The difficulty outside of hordes have been kind of lackluster. It's not really difficult at all, in fact. So the fact that actually sort of increasing that difficulty, whilst I guess keeping the hordes themselves are kind of nice. Any sort of big piles? That's not really. I guess there's one here, but somewhere in the place to chuck down. That's the problem. Oh, look, pile of sets. Look, you broke a locker. Honestly, that's probably like me shooting them as well. Because the unpressure rounds actually do take quite a lot of damage towards blocks. Yeah, most likely quite decent amount of blade traps. I actually just realized something pretty major as well. I actually forgot to place a huge amount of spikes. Whoops! Like all... Wow. All this just lost their spikes. I actually kind of messed up a little bit on a couple of things, so... I end up getting a bit, like, in a kind of bad hurry for time. So basically... Because I spent quite a lot of time actually working on, like, fixing up this thing here. And... Like, I kind of knew I could do a little bit, but basically I didn't actually build the blade traps before today, which meant they took absolutely ages to build, because I also needed to build a bunch, or craft a bunch of like defense posts, and also like 1,000 spikes. So yeah, crafting time was kind of just held me back essentially. I can't actually go on a single demolisher, of course. So basically what actually happened was that I realized like last minute also I didn't actually have any shells in the actual towers either. So yeah, of course instead of doing that, basically I should have like placed the spikes I could, because I don't actually want to place spikes if I need to wire blade traps there. For the others I can't place the spikes. So that was kind of a mistake this time for sure. So I think only about like... I think we only had like a bit more than half the spikes basically. Quite a lot of blade traps too. One thing I like to think about Alpha 20 is that we might actually be able to say... Yeah, you see actually... So this run here just flamed out and stopped. So it's not spinning, which of course means at this moment the only way it can actually get hit is, or like damage, is of course by zombies physically damaging it. Because as blade traps spin and actually like hit zombies, they do take damage. Cup explosions are really bad. I think we just lost 3 in that explosion. So yeah. What I'm actually thinking is for Alpha 20 is we might like not have blade traps in the outer rows, because they basically make it quite a bit larger. Maybe like the first row and second row won't have blade traps, but like maybe the 2 or 3 inner rows will. Which means that we can like... There's gonna be probably more blade traps than we have now, but basically like cups for example will most likely have a much higher chance of actually dying before getting to the blade traps. Another thing as well is we have to somehow incorporate dark traps into the build. I actually don't know how we're gonna do. Oh. Streamer? No. Like I have a design for it in mind, but I'm not sure if it's gonna really be possible to implement. Or at least like practical. Wow, let's look up. It might be unpractical to implement it. That's just basically extending the towers, like make them still 3 wide but like 5 long, which means we can put like 3 blade dart traps on them. The problem with that design though is of course going to be how do we activate them. So there are like either we can do like pressure plates, but there's also tripwires in. There's also tripwires, right? Which we could technically use. I'm just wondering about A, if the tripwires will break after like usage, and then B, can I wire more than one pressure plate up to the actual like dark trap potentially. I don't know. If I can do that, I'll probably use pressure plates. So to do a bit of testing. I will also like to make a video in not too long about my plans for Alpha 20, and also about the base design itself. Actually, I might... yeah, sure. And then... where am I? I'll just do a bit of testing as well, I think. I'll probably do the testing in Alpha 20 though. Because for this space here, I actually built that in Alpha 9 or 18. There's not entire base there, but I used the slippery slope design, which they patched. So, yeah. Here's again. Really. Hello. Nice. And morning. Okay, where are the screamers? Can't see any. Let's just do this, not waste too much ammo. Okay. Really? Wait. You scream because you saw me, or because... I don't know. Okay. Should do the last one then. Okay, let's go and turn off all this stuff. Oh, did I actually put a bunch of fuel? A little bit, not too much. Okay. So, I did actually notice that they weren't actually able to get... or they actually did go and, like, dig through one of the turrets here, actually. This one. Okay, didn't damage that one. Okay, which is nice. Okay, let's just go and put some stuff in there. We need to take one of those. It's a treated one. One meats too. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Okay. Let's go take a look at what kind of loot we get. In my opinion, the loot is really the only reason to actually have hordes enabled, so Apart from this, like... Ooh, we actually get a... Nice power in the chip. Gear. Craft baseball hats and leather jackets and take 5% less damage when wearing them. And we get max batter up, which I think is good. Power attacks that kill your enemy refill your stamina meter. That's actually awesome. Because stamina is actually one of my... Yeah, this is like my biggest problem with power attacks. So, like, for example, when I was fighting those, I didn't actually run out of stamina at the time, but I'm actually quite, like, prone to doing that. Now, seeing a level 5 impact driver right now is just like... Don't really care about it. Recommend now is actually getting back to Alpha 20 when it will actually matter. Right, that's those okay. So actually, when basically the electric fences actually get blown up, is when we actually get metal stuff in the ground. Don't found them. I think that is all the loot. Let's double check there's something on here. There's one over there. Seems like it. Okay. Seems to be the exact same stats. Okay. Oh. Do they not increase the heavy armor rating? Just the armor rating? Then what's the difference? That's kind of weird in my opinion. Yeah, so you can actually see over there basically there. Oh, actually, you can't remember. So not too bad amount of loot. This amount of brass, this amount of ammo. We had the stack of this on us already. So a stack of 762, 63, 9 million, 44, 44. Plus this amount of brass as well. So that's actually pretty good. 66 shotgun shells. At least like it recoups like, you know, some amount of the ammo. Oh, that's actually... Alright, okay, so it's a little bit less than 1 paper per old cache, so... As of right now, because we're about to end the series, I'm not gonna actually do that, but that is of course one sort of important conversion. You can turn old cache into paper. Because I have a lot of this at this point. Like at this point I have like 37,000. So I is presumably speaking like probably around 30,000 paper from there. So I guess that's sort of like the way you're supposed to get paper in the game. So far I have been more or less fine with it though, so it's not really a problem, I suppose, with that. Anyways though, another successful Horde night. I've been having way too few of those in the series. What I'm going to do this week is I'm going to go back to the city over here and just continue looting it. With the same sort of stuff, I'm going to start with one episode of looting it. I'm going to do, or 1 day of looting, an episode, and actually a day of off-camera clear looting. Because of that. However, today, or day 113, because it's around like 6 PM or AM. I'm actually going to just go around and do a bunch of stuff. So we have a bunch of this like quests and stuff done right now. So there's a bunch of like, I think 2 treasure quests or treasure maps. There's quite a lot of drops around the place, as I've sort of been working on the pad and also the Wasteland project. I haven't actually like, I haven't grabbed any of the drops. So I guess we'll basically go and do that. Fetch all of those. I also have these are like actual quests as well. Just like parties, okay. So we need to basically just do those. I have a couple other ones as well. Did not actually get another, which is interesting. Okay. I'm also gonna grab like all the chests which are on the place. That chest right here, and this one, and this one. And the other ones. And just basically take them back to base. And then when that's all done, I want to basically just go and... Well, you kind of wait. Okay. Also, all the crops render except the mushrooms? That's weird. And basically when I'm done with that, if we still have time, I'm just gonna basically fill in this living here rebar frames, upgrade all the rebar frames to concrete. Basically get the path done. And then for day 114, I will be traveling to that city. Start looting at 4 AM. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like. And so, thanks for watching. Have a nice day and goodbye.